Peace and blessings, yo. It's your man Unlearn, Enemy of the State, Warrior Anthems, now available, free download, myspace.com/Amazon, AMAZEUN. Hit me up, un33 at AOL.com. Let me know what y'all think of the CD. Let me know what y'all think of the project. This is the first editorial in a series of editorials that I'm starting to put together. You know, broadcasting it on my MySpace page, also YouTube, you know, other venues such as that. You know, basically doing op-ed pieces via video online. Y'all can check it out, hit me back with responses, let me know what y'all think. You know, I'm trying to give power to the people in terms of trying to bring current events to the social consciousness of the hip-hop community, trying to get down like that. But this topic is basically to know your laws, you know, in light of recent current events that involve the hip-hop community. Specifically speaking about the T.I. situation, where he was just recently arrested and indicted on gun charges. Allegedly he was trying to buy machine guns, and cops stormed his crib and was trying to get things. So in light of those events and other events such as that, it made me reflect on certain things that are going on and certain facts. And before I say anything else, I just really want to stress, and I can't stress this enough, that I'm an advocate for peace. Whether it be in the inner cities of the United States, be it Washington Heights, Harlem, Compton, San Francisco, Oakland, or whether it be in the Gaza Strip or Afghanistan or anywhere else, I'm a strong advocate for peace, and I can't stress that enough. However, I'm also an advocate and a firm believer that there cannot be any type of peace without justice. You have to establish justice on the earth first before you can find any type of peace or reconcile anything, reconcile any type of differences. Justice is the means to achieve the end of peace, or a peaceful end to any type of situation. So with that being said, as I was saying, these are just reflections on the current situation involving T.I., which all too often we find hip-hop artists in a situation where they're being brought up on gun charges. I mean, you know, Diddy was indicted for gun charges. Sean was put away for gun charges. Prodigy just recently got caught up on a gun charge. Rappers from Busta Rhymes all the way to Fabulous get caught up on gun charges. You know, and more recently T.I., where it was a big deal because they actually stormed his crib for allegedly trying to purchase machine guns. And it just made me reflect and made me realize that more than anything else, we need to understand what our laws are, you know. And as a person who's a big fan of understanding our laws, understanding our rights as Americans, as human beings, you know, it made me realize a couple of things. Firstly, why do rappers keep on getting caught up on gun charges? I mean, that's the main question more than anything else. And what people have to understand, if you don't really understand the laws or you ain't familiar with the laws, as a felon, anybody convicted of a felony, you are not able to have a gun in this country. Every state has their own laws in terms of gun control and rules and regulations. However, the general rule is that as a felon, as a predicate felon, you are not allowed and you do not have the right to purchase weapons. You know, so rappers like T.I. and others who have criminal records and have a criminal past, when they get caught up on gun charges, a lot of the time these guns are illegal in the first place. So they didn't buy them in a legal manner, and nor are they weapons that are legal to begin with, and they shouldn't be having them. So with that being said, they're getting arrested, they're getting locked up, they're getting indicted on various charges, you know. But before anything else, you gotta really understand it's our rights as human beings who live in the United States, as American citizens. It is our Second Amendment right to bear arms. The Constitution itself, word for word, gives us the right, where it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to secure a free state, or being necessary to the security of a free state. Right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What this basically means is that as citizens of this nation, as citizens of the United States, we have the right to keep and bear arms in well-regulated militias, meaning organized and well-regulated in order to secure a free state. And what is a free state? A free state that's away from imperial rule, a democratic state, as opposed to imperial rule or an oppressive regime. We as the people can organize in these militias and bear arms to fight and secure the democratic process that we have in place, or that was established. And that's what the law is. You know, and every American who's not been convicted of any type of felony, who does not have a criminal past, who does not have a history of mental illness, can purchase a weapon legally through legal channels, and they can have a license to carry that weapon if need be. You know, again, I'm not an advocate for guns. If you don't have no reason to have a gun, it shouldn't be in your hand. You see what I'm saying? If you choose to have a weapon, go through the legal channels to purchase your weapon, and make sure that you take all the proper safety precautions in terms of keeping it locked up, keeping it put away. But the whole purpose, the whole reason I'm bringing up the whole laws of guns and gun control and the recent issue with T.I. is it just brings up a bigger social issue, which is what would cause somebody to purchase a gun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the argument could be made, or the question could be asked, well, why was T.I. trying to buy machine guns in the first place? Whether or not he was, that's a different debate. But why would somebody want to purchase machine guns? Why would somebody want to purchase a weapon? Why will all these hip-hop artists who get indicted or get into problems with gun charges, why are they trying to buy guns, or why do they have guns in the first place? And this is just my opinion, and from my perspective, the way I see it is that when you come from inner city communities, when you come from the hood, whether it be down south, east coast, west coast, regardless of the fact, you are a prisoner of poverty. You are oppressed by the impoverished condition in which you live. And the only people that you see as people who have freedom, the only people that you see that have some type of liberation, are either rich, politicians, or police. These are the three type of people that you see that have the freedoms and the liberties that you feel are kept from you as a person who lives in a ghetto environment. You see rich people who have the means and the resources necessary to purchase whatever they want, to buy whatever they want, to live how they want to live. You see politicians who basically create the laws and maintain their own power, you know, and create the laws purposefully to maintain their own power. And then you see the police, who are kind of like the low end of the totem pole, the pawns in this big chess game of life, who in most communities in the inner city we see as the front line of this oppressive system that keeps us in poverty. You see what I'm saying? So in order to gain some type of equality, most people who come from these conditions see the only way to try to be equal and to be on a level playing field with these other people is to be rich and to have weapons. So that's why you see all these rappers getting caught up in the drama that they're getting caught up in, because they're basically trying to attain some type of equality with the powers that be and the political and economic structure that has kept us in the position that we're in terms of our inner city communities being the way they are, where crime, drugs, and constant violence afflicts us and oppresses us. You know, so in order to try to gain some type of equality, what they've done is basically try to get rich, doing music, hustling on the street, whatever the case is, and then secondly trying to maintain their economic status by having weapons. You know, no different from the cops being the enforcive aspect, or being the enforcement of the laws that are set up by the politicians in order to protect those who are rich. So to kind of answer that question as to why all these rappers want to have guns all of a sudden, it has less to do with trying to be hardcore. It has less to do to try to talk tough and to get your name in the newspaper. And it's more of a deeply rooted issue, and it's more of a deeply rooted problem in the psyche of anybody who comes from the inner city, anybody who comes from an impoverished community. It's a means to try to gain some type of level equality with the people who you feel have oppressed you for years. See what I'm saying? So that really needs to be said. And then the second question is, we're in a system and a climate right now where it's like you got to really think about the law that's in place, the Second Amendment, which is in order to secure a free state, in order to make sure that the country stays a free country, and in order to fight oppression, people can organize together and fight in well-regulated militias to maintain this freedom that they've given us. You know, the founding fathers put this into structure. So when you really think about the social environment right now, what type of people are in the position where they would need to organize and form well-regulated militias? What type of people, what type of communities would need to bear arms in order to secure a free state for themselves? And one can come to no other conclusion but to realize that the inner city is the exact communities that they're talking about. That's exactly the people who are the most oppressed in this country are people in inner city